Welcome to the Lovestead.
Hello, welcome back to Lady Lovestead Reads. My name is Jessica and this is my February vlog. Maybe part 1 depending on how long it gets. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. Great to see you all. If you're new here, leave me a little note down below. Tell me what one of your favorite books is to say hello. If you're not comfortable with that just yet, just leave me a little waving emoji so I can say hi to you. As I said, my name is Jessica and I typically read books that fall into one of two categories. Y'all know this routine. I say it in every video now. So I usually read books that are either light, cozy, whimsical, or dark and twisted. Because I do read some books that are dark and twisted, please make sure to check your trigger warnings before picking up any of these books. I don't share triggers in my videos because I think they can be spoilery. But if you have any concerns, I recommend using the app Storygraph. I like all different kinds of books: fantasy, mystery, romance, nonfiction, literary. What am I missing? Horror. So I read a lot of different genres and I read from all age levels, from middle grade to adult. All right, intros are over. Let's get into the video for today. It is Saturday, February 1st. Happy February. It's my birthday month. I'm turning 40 this month. It's a lot to wrap my head around, but really I'm happy about it, to be honest. And today it is a Saturday. I have to run some errands. And then I'm going to do some chores around the house and edit some videos, and that's the plan. Hopefully get some reading done in there as well. So let me tell you what I'm reading. I am finishing up a romance that I'm reading for a specific video project that'll be coming up hopefully soon. And so I'm almost done with it. It's called Wrote Me In by Kayla Grosse, and that is my book under 500 pages that I'm working on. When I finish that, I will be picking up A Killing Cold by Kate Ellis Marshall. I'm buddy reading this with my friend Hannah. And I love Kate Ellis Marshall. This is an adult thriller. So based on the premise of this, Theodora is the main character. She falls in love with this wealthy guy. He takes her on a vacation to a family home, like an estate, like a big old mansion kind of thing. And it's called Idlewood. It's his family's isolated winter retreat. And she's getting text messages from some anonymous number to stay away from him without a whole lot of explanation. And she goes to this retreat to Idlewood and finds a picture of herself as a child at Idlewood. And she doesn't remember the picture, doesn't remember the picture being taken. And now she's like, what in the heck is going on? So that's the premise of this. I adore Kate Ellis Marshall. She's one of my favorite writers, I think. She writes middle grade, young adult, and adult. And I've read her middle grade, young adult, and adult, and I just have loved so much of what she writes. And I'm really excited to be reading this with my friend Hannah. She and I have been talking about buddy reading this since before it was released, so excited for this. I hopefully will finish Wrote Me In today, and then I'll be able to dive into this one. Audiobooks. I have 2 audiobooks going right now. The first is Invocations by Krystal Sutherland. This is a YA horror, and it's about 3 girls, and they're into the occult for various reasons. They are trying to find this killer, this serial killer that is murdering women who have what's called an invocation on them. Taking their invocation. The invocation gives them specific powers. So it's like, it's something that's drawn into their skin and gives them a specific power. Like one of the women, her hands, she can set things on fire with her hands, right? Based on this invocation. So there's a serial killer that's killing the women and cutting out their invocation so that they can use that power for themselves. So these 3 girls end up together, and I won't tell you their backstory to spoil it, but they end up together and they're trying to find this killer. And so far I'm really loving it, and that's all I have to say about it so far. I'm about halfway through. The other audiobook I'm reading is Happy Ever After at Puddleduck Farm, which is the last book in the Puddleduck series. Is by Della, Galton, and it's a contemporary cozy. I don't like the term, but like chick lit is the term. I would rather call it just contemporary cozy, but It's a slice of life story about Phoebe. Phoebe is a veterinarian and she helps her grandmother run Puddleduck Farm, which is like an animal rescue. And it's the slice of life. It just Phoebe's story and all of her relatives and her friends and things going on at the in the community where she lives, called the New Forest. And I'm about 80% of the way through this one. I have enjoyed it up until about the 75% mark, and something really terribly sad happens at the 75% mark that has left me a little bit heartbroken for Phoebe, and I wish it hadn't happened. But we'll see how things wrap up, see if it can kind of leave me on a happy note instead of this like heartbroken feeling that it's given me, which is unusual for these books. These books usually leave me feeling like so warm and nurtured and safe. And so it's kind of thrown me for a loop a little bit here. But we'll see how things wrap up with it. And this one will actually be a SAS goal met, which is Serious About Series. I'll link you to the video up here. But one of my goals was to finish the series this year. So after I finish this book, I can check that off my list. Yeah. Let's go run errands. My Baker Creek seed order is here in this really cute package. It looks like old seed packets printed on it. So I'm going to unbox my order. It's a lot of seeds, so we'll do it kind of quick. I have this cute box to store the seeds in. It's like a world map. Beurre de Roquencourt. I don't know if that's how people say it. That's the French way. Beans. Bloomsdale long-standing spinach. Arugula. Thai red chilies. Beefsteak tomato. Sahara kale. Tatsoi, which is like a kind of kale. Blue borage. Mushroom basket tomatoes. Georgia Creole southern collards. Cherokee purple tomato. Paris Island lettuce. Looks like a romaine. That was a freebie. Baked alpha cucumber. Okay, and what was cool about this cucumber is that they are self-pollinating. They do not require bees, birds, and butterflies to pollinate for them, which is exciting because part of the problem I've had with cucumbers is trying to get them to pollinate. Okay, this was a freebie. Banana pepper. Sweet. I love banana peppers. Mandarina lemon balm. It's supposed to be kind of an orange flavor. Cinnamon basil. There's another freebie. Limoncello lemon balm. Wild rocket arugula. Cilantro. Slow bolt cilantro. White horehound. Fenugreek. Purple ball basil. May Queen lettuce. Orange accordion tomato. I don't remember ordering this. This must have been a freebie. Eggplant, an Antigua eggplant. I actually can't eat eggplant. So this must have been a free packet. So like for every so many packets of seeds you order, they put in a freebie. This was probably a freebie because I actually cannot eat eggplant. So I will have to give this to a friend. Lovage, dill, bouquet dill specifically. Thai sweet basil. That's a freebie. Zinnias. Oh, the Persian carpet zinnias. Those will be pretty. Nero de Toscana kale. Dragon tongue pole beans. Barize Swiss chard. Bergamot. Endive. Chamomile. The Zloty Lawn chamomile. And a flour or a sourdough starter. Hopefully it comes with instructions somewhere. Because my sourdough starters kept dying. So I bought a starter from them. Yes, it does have instructions. Exciting! I'll probably
get the starter going this weekend.
Hello, vlog. It is Wednesday, February 5th. I am exhausted. I'm so exhausted. This month has been grueling so far. My cat Cherry is not doing well. So she's essentially on kitty hospice, and that just, it's a lot of work. It's every couple hours checking in on her, even through the night, and it's grueling and I'm tired, but it's worth it. It's worth every moment to keep her comfortable. And then work is really intense, and trying to take care of barn chores and just chores around the house and all of my other critters. And then I'm still not fully recovered from influenza A, and I'm still kind of battling that bug. And I'm a little vitamin deficient from the whole ordeal with my gallbladder, and I'm just exhausted. I'm exhausted, but it's all good. Everything's okay. It's just life being life, you know. So I finished Invocations by Krystal Sutherland, and I really liked that book. I liked how, wow, this light is making me look ghostly. I can see it in the camera. Let's see. Is that a little better? A little more natural? It's raining out, so there's no natural light coming in. I'm having to use a ring light, and it's making me look spoopy. Anyway, what was I saying? Krystal Sutherland. I enjoyed it. If I didn't mention it, it's YA horror, and it's about these three women that are trying to track down a serial killer who is killing people who have had an invocation done to them, which gives them a specific supernatural power. The invocation is done by Emma, who is a witch, essentially. And she was raised by demons, and like her relationship with these demons is so interesting in that they were actually very nurturing to her, and she takes it as them eventually expecting her to pay up, right? So she's not seeing this as like demons being loving or anything like that, but it's just kind of an interesting dynamic from like a spiritual perspective. And then she's from Ireland, which is like, hello. Me too. My family is from Ireland, and she's just very earthy and witchy, and just Emma has my whole heart. Like, I love her so much. And I really like the themes in this book, the themes of how witch hunts are essentially just excuses for men to kill women, and just the deeply rooted misogyny in witch hunts, and also about how the people closest to you in your life can harbor some really hateful positions and perspectives, and just how like insidious misogyny is, because we only see one side of the people in our lives, and there are a whole other sides of them that we don't have access to that would and could shock us, you know? And I just thought that that aspect of the story was really well done. I recommend this if you like horror, especially there's a lot of like body horror in this that was pretty well done, I think, especially for YA, but it's also like YA appropriate, right? It's appropriate for its age level. I would compare this to Horrid by, I think Katrina Leno is her name. I don't know. I'll find the book at some point and show you. I would compare it to that book, actually. Yeah, so if you like that one, you would probably really like this as well. I have not read anything else by Krystal Sutherland, but I'm definitely going to. And I gave Invocations 4 stars. The next audiobook I'm picking up is another horror. I'm not intentionally reading a bunch of horror in February. It's just that these are what came available in my library holds. So Home is Where the Bodies Are by Jeneva Rose. So the Goodreads description says, after their mother passes, three estranged siblings reunite to sort out her estate. That is horrifying in itself. Having just done that myself, I actually shared in my January vlog that I finally wrapped up my own father's estate. And it's a very difficult process, so hopefully the story isn't too triggering for me. So Beth, the oldest, never left home. She stayed with her mom, caring for her till the very end. Oh no, this might be super triggering for me. who I'll give it a try though. Okay, then it says Nicole, the middle child, has been kept at arm's length due to her ongoing battle with a serious drug addiction. Michael, the youngest, lives out of state and hasn't been back to their small Wisconsin town since their father ran out on them 7 years before. While going through their parents' belongings, the siblings stumble upon a collection of home videos and decide to revisit those happier memories. However, the nostalgia is cut short when one of the VHS tapes reveals a night back in 1999, the 90s. I was in high school in 99, so woohoo. Back in 1999 that none of them have any recollection of. On screen, their father appears covered in blood. What follows is a dead body and a pact between their parents to get rid of it before the video abruptly ends. Okay, I am intrigued. This is a fairly short book too. It's 256 pages, so probably be able to get through that fairly quickly. And then I'm in a mood to just read one book at a time right now, plus an audiobook. So my physical read is the buddy read I'm doing with Hannah of A Killing Cold by Kate Alice Marshall. And I'm only 50 pages in. I just haven't had a lot of time or energy to sit down and read with my eyes this week. And so far, the 50 pages I've read, I have enjoyed. The family is kind of reminding me of like a darker version of the Rose family from Schitt's Creek, if you watch that show. Just like they're really wealthy, and like some of the descriptions of what they look like are reminding me of some of the characters from the Rose family. That's just me though. I don't know if anybody else is getting that vibe from this book. Hannah already finished it, so I'm playing catch up, which is pretty typical for me during buddy reads, not even gonna lie, especially lately. But hopefully I'll get a good chunk of this read here tonight. Otherwise, I really haven't been doing a whole lot. Like I said, just work, just grinding out life, like staying afloat with work, farm work, house chores, caring for critters, taking care of Cherry, and trying to stay on top of like uploading and just everything. And I'm just super pooped. So we'll see. Do say a little prayer for my Cherry girl. I am keeping her comfortable, but just prayers that I can do that with her to the very end, and that I have the discernment to make the right choices about her end of life care. I don't know how much time we have left. It could be weeks, it could be months. I don't know, but I would welcome your prayers if you're the prayer and sort. Prayer and sort. Hello vlog. Monday, February 10th, the day after the Super Bowl. I actually did some Super Bowl whooping it up, partying. I don't know. I'm not much of a partier, but I did socialize for the Super Bowl. And I ended up having a really fun time. I actually enjoyed watching the game. It was kind of fun seeing the Eagles do what they did. And I really liked Kendrick Lamar's halftime show. I'm a big Kendrick Lamar fan. So that was fun. Do you have thoughts about the game or about the show or about anything related to the superb owl? I must share, we have a silly little tragedy that has visited us. The cats have knocked over my big beautiful Monstera plant over here. We have a mess, an absolute mess. They also knocked over another big beautiful plant that I have in my bedroom. Buttershaw likes to climb these moss poles, and both plants that got knocked over have these little moss pole things. So I had bought this summer some bigger pots because I do need to repot several of my house plants. So I have pots. I ordered 4 bags of potting soil to be delivered today. So after I teach my classes tonight, I'm going to do some work on my houseplants because honestly, all of the houseplants in this house are in a sad state right now. I have been neglecting them because of the things going on with Miss Cherry. and they are revolting and rebelling against my neglect. So I will take you along as I work on my houseplants and kind of show you those projects as I do them. The priorities for tonight are going to be watering my nearly dead because they're so dry plants, fixing and repotting this and cleaning up this mess, fixing and repotting and cleaning up the mess in my bedroom. So I'm gonna have a whole fun houseplant time this evening. In terms of reading, I am halfway through Home is Where the Bodies Are by Jeneva Rose. I'm gonna read it as I work on the houseplants too because it's due back in like 3 days, so I need to finish it. So far it's been a little bit triggering, but in a way that I would compare to like exposure therapy, not in a way that feels damaging. So exposure therapy is where you actually expose yourself to triggers, and the more you expose yourself to triggers, the easier it gets over time. And that's what this feels like to me. Yes, it is a little bit triggering, dealing with the loss of a parent and going through a parent's estate and all of that and finding out like, oh, family secrets and that kind of thing. And interactions with siblings in the middle of grief and all of that, and that has been difficult and triggering for me to read, but triggering in a way that feels like exposure therapy and not necessarily like something that's doing me damage. So I'm sticking with it. I really like her writing. There have been some quotable moments in this, and hopefully if I can catch them somewhere, since I'm listening to it on audiobook, it's harder for me to capture the quotes, you know, but hopefully if I can share it in my January quotes video, because you all seem to really like my December quotes video. I was a little bit worried that that would be like boring or uninteresting for people, so I'm glad that it got a good response. And I really loved the folks who shared quotes in the comments, because then we've got like this vault of quotes that we can refer back to and look at and enjoy. I just love that. So yeah, hopefully I'll have some quotes from Home is Where the Body Is to share in the February quotes video, not January. And I am really liking it. This would not be good to read if you struggle with addiction. One of the sisters, Nicole, is trying to recover from addiction, specifically opioid addiction, and it's very on page. So if that is something that you struggle with, don't read this book. That's going to be really difficult for you. And I am really liking the way addiction is being portrayed and how she's really covering it as like, this is a disease. Nobody actively chooses to stay addicted. You know, some people make the choice to try substances, but they don't necessarily actively make a choice to have an addiction that ruins their life, and how difficult specifically opioid addiction is. And like, this character gets hooked after her doctors prescribe her opioids and then don't give her a good plan to wean off of them. And like, that is so often what happens with opioid medication and why we've seen such an increase in opioid addiction in the United States. And so I feel like she's covering that topic really well and really sensitively. And so far I'm enjoying it. We just kind of uncovered what the main mystery is with the parents and are kind of going from there. I do have a prediction that kind of slunk into my brain last night as I was reading it. But it feels like this prediction is too obvious. It feels like a red herring. So hopefully it's wrong. I will be a little bit disappointed if I'm correct, but we'll see. Yeah, halfway through that, and today we're taking care of the houseplant incident of 2025. Hello vlog. It is Wednesday, February 12th, and we are having the most gorgeous snowstorm ever. It is so pretty. It is so pretty. I love it so much. A couple of reading updates. I finished Homes Where the Bodies Are. I was going to say bodies is. That is not proper grammar. Home is Where the Bodies Are by Jeneva Rose. And I enjoyed this. I feel like it was a good time pass. Her writing, her prose, is so lovely. It's so lovely. It's so quotable. I just really enjoyed her writing style. And the characters were well done. There was one point, and this isn't a spoiler in any way, but their mom passes, and so they're working through their inheritance and stuff. And she leaves letters for her kids. And in one of the kids, she has this quote where she says, "You're not the child I wanted, but you're the child I deserved." Oh, that is so cutting. That is so painful. And yeah, I won't spoil who she's writing to or what it's about or anything, but just that line. Oh my gosh. So Maggie's down there making her bed. I'm slowly getting this mess over here cleaned up from the cats knocking over my plant. So the characters were well done, and I liked them. I liked spending time with these people, and I liked getting to know them. The plot was just okay. There wasn't anything outstanding about the plot or about the reveals or anything like that. I will read more from this author because of the writing, and I'm a very character-driven reader. So if there's a good character, I'm going to enjoy it, even if the plot is just okay, like this one was. I gave it 3.5 stars. The next audiobook I picked up is a memoir called Punch Me Up to the Gods by Broome. And it's a memoir about Brian's life as a Black gay man. And it really addresses issues of gender and, masculinity and femininity and sexuality and race and all of the intersectionalities that come with being a Black gay man. Particularly, he grew up in the 80s. So that time period especially had some really important, not important, but really difficult challenges if you are Black and gay. And he just, the story is so vulnerable. It's so vulnerable. It's so honest. It is pretty graphic. So if you're thinking about reading it, definitely check your triggers. It is pretty graphic, heavy hitting, really hard moments, really dark moments. And that is just as a result of his honesty and his vulnerability. And it's really well done. He has the chapters set up, and each chapter title, I think, is a line from a Gwendolyn Brooks poem. And he kind of rotates between his story and observing a Black toddler on a bus, and assuming that this toddler is a little boy, kind of watching the people on the bus react to the Black toddler, how their reactions are already shaping his gender and sexual identity before he even has a chance to understand it himself, So he rotates between that observation and his own experiences. And it's just really well done, but it is heavy. This is not a lighthearted, fun read. It's an important read, but go into it cautiously. And I'm halfway through it, and I'm almost done. I don't have the book with me. I have the dust jacket. I'm almost done with The Killing Cold by Kate Ellis Marshall. I feel like it's taken me forever to get through this book. It's a short book. It should not have taken me 12 days to get through. I should have gotten through this book in 3 days. I just haven't had the time. And then stuff like my plants getting knocked over keep happening. So yeah, I've been devouring audiobooks because I can listen to audiobooks while I'm cleaning up a plant mess. I just haven't had the time that I like to have to sit down and read with my eyes. And then the days that I have had the time, I have been so anxious and triggered and not well in the head that I haven't been able to focus. But I feel like I'm finally sort of rebalanced mentally, and I can put in some time with my physical reads now. So I will be finishing this book tonight. If it takes me till 3 in the morning, I will be finishing this book tonight. I'm not spending another day reading this book. And I'm not saying that it's bad. It does feel middle of the road. This is not my favorite Kate Alice Marshall. It's enjoyable. It's a time pass. I love the setting. So it's set on this mountain and she's just like outside in the cold and the snow a lot. And I love that. Oh, winter is my favorite. Cold, ice, snow. I love it. I love it. So I love this setting. The family, I feel like, is just a stereotypical rich family with their rich people dysfunctions. And the mystery and what's going on, nothing too extraordinary. So it is a little bit disappointing. I don't feel like it's on her usual level, but it's entertaining. I mean, it's not bad. It's just okay. It's what the kids would say is mid, I guess. So I'll finish that tonight. And then I can't decide what I want to pick up after that. So it's either going to be The Republic of Birds, which is the Lovestead buddy read. I'm honestly kind of leaning towards this. Or it will be Espresso Shot by Cleo Coyle, which is the next book in the Coffee House Mystery Series. And I would be reading this for Mr. Francy's Cozy It Up in February. I really can't decide. I really can't decide. Tell me down below. Ooh, here we go. Guess. So you put in a guess for which book you think I'm going to read next. And we'll see if your guess comes true. Will it be The Republic of Birds? If you think it's this one, put a bird emoji. Will it be Espresso Shot? If you think it's this one, put a coffee cup. And we will see if you get it right. I honestly don't know at this point which one it will be, but it'll be one of these. Hello vlog, it's Friday, February 14th. Happy Valentine's Day. It's so cute. We're all on Discord sending each other these little Valentine memes. It's adorable. I love it. It reminds me of like in elementary school when you would get like those little paper cutout Valentines and exchange them with your classmates. Like that's what this is reminding me of. It's so sweet. I love it. I really enjoy Valentine's Day and I hope that you are having a great one. I did end up finishing A Killing Cold by Kate Alice Marshall, and I unfortunately didn't like this one. I thought that it was just okay, and it felt like it really dragged, and a lot of the plot was just really unremarkable. Let me turn my sound off on my computer so you're not hearing all the Discord updates, yeah? So the plot was really unremarkable. I felt like it got pretty tropey and it was just kind of a standard Buttershaw causing problems. I don't know if you can see him over there. Causing problems is his default mode. I swear, this cat, he is just chaos. Anyway, I have my handheld vacuum over there because I'm still trying to clean up this plant mess and find all of the dirt that got spilled by him. Anyway, I felt like it got very tropey and it just felt like a pretty standard rich people have secrets kind of story. Now, I did really like the setting. I love that it was in like a chilly, wintry, cold, frozen mountain and she spent so much time outside in the snow because like winter is my absolute favorite season. I love reading wintry books. So I liked it and the title was apt, A Killing Cold. I did also like the characters. I mean, the characters I thought were okay, especially the main character who's an unreliable narrator. I thought that she was kind of interesting and the prose was lovely. Like Kate Alice Marshall's prose is always great. It's always quotable. But the plot I think was just the biggest weak point for me. There just wasn't a lot there. So I did end up giving this one 2.5 stars. And then the next one that I'm picking up is The Republic of Birds. I decided on this and I started it and I'm like 80 pages into it already. So The Republic of Birds is a Slavic wintry middle grade fantasy and I'm reading it for Polarathon. So Polarathon is a readathon hosted by Jade at Jadeyraereads where She has like a bingo board for the books to read, but for every book you are supposed to donate a certain amount of money to a charity that focus on saving polar bears and like preserving the Arctic and environmental issues and things like that. I don't know, just based on my finances, how much or if any I'll be able to actually donate to the charity this year. But I love the readathon, and I can at least participate in it and like share it with other people. So, you know, that's the part that I can do with it for sure. So I am reading this for Polarathon, and it is the Lovestead Buddy Read of the month. And if you want to participate in the Lovestead's Winter Weekend 24 and 48 Readathon, which is next weekend, it has blue on the cover. So this book like just checks off so many boxes for different things and activities in the month of February. I will talk more about it in part 2 of my February vlog. We are halfway through the month, and that's when I usually stop and start the next round because my vlogs have been tending to get pretty long. So cutting them in half and doing 2 vlogs, a part 1 and a part 2 every month. We'll see how long this works. Things are always subject to change around here because if I'm gonna make this booktube thing sustainable for myself, I have to make it work with my life. I always admire people that are able to have like a really strict schedule and stick with it and do all these things, and it's just amazing what people can do on booktube. Unfortunately, with me having a full-time job, a part-time job, a family of critters to take care of, some other things I'm working on, and living with chronic illness and chronic pain, it's just not always possible for me to do booktube like other people do booktube. So I just kind of have to go with the flow and do what I can on a month-to-month basis. And that's what I'll keep doing because so far it's working for me. It worked for me last year, and so far it's working for me this year. I don't know that you even need to know that, but so that will do it for this part of my February vlog. If you just want to leave me an emoji to let me know that you're here, go ahead and leave me a pink and or red heart emoji for Valentine's Day. And I would love to know your thoughts on any of the books that I've read or mentioned or any of the things I've talked about. Join the conversation, join the Discord, like and subscribe. And until next time, make sure that you continue to read good books, drink good coffee, take care of yourselves and each other. Bye!